Hey there, I'm Robin Thompson with The Powerful Practice. And what we're going to talk about is how mental health professionals like you can move from private practice to coaching, training, or consulting that makes more impact and more income in fewer working hours. You see, there are two types of mental health professionals out there, and decide for yourself as I describe them which type you relate to the most. First type is overworked and underpaid mental health professionals. Maybe you find yourself working an intense number of clinical hours. You're not getting enough time to yourself. You find yourself working late, night after night, spending more time in other families' problems and less time than you want in your own family. Or maybe you feel this way, where it's impossible to reach the income level that you deserve once your schedule is full. Maybe you see people who are friends of yours and they're in different industries, in different professions, and they have fewer qualifications than you do. They spent less time in college than you do. They had to do a lot less. Maybe they didn't even need a license to do what they do, right? And they're all the way up at this $30,000 a month, $40,000 a month, even $25,000 a month, $20,000 a month, and you're saying to yourself, you're stuck way down in income, and you're saying, why them and not me? But this is because you are trading your time for money. It's the model that you're stuck in which keeps you overworked and underpaid. Or maybe you find yourself in this situation where you feel like you're taking on too much junk from other people. So what that means is that you're spending all day, every day, wading through the emotional traumas, and you're wading through all the heavy stuff of person after person after person after person, and perhaps you feel like some of it sticks. A little bit of it comes home with you each day, because I get these calls from people who are 10, 15, 20 years into the profession of therapy saying, I need to slow down because I feel like the last few years I've just been flirting with burnout constantly, but I can't slow down because if I do slow down, I don't make the money that I need to support myself and my family. Is this a familiar situation? If so, perhaps you're an overworked and underpaid mental health professional. But there's another type of mental health professional out there, and I call them the leverage and abundant mental health professionals. And perhaps some names of well-known mental health professionals might come to mind as I describe them and their careers, because these are people who are able to make a bigger impact in society and are clearly getting paid well for doing it. These are the people that you see publishing books. These are people that you hear being quoted or being interviewed in podcasts. These are the people that you see in the media. These are people who are able to make a bigger impact in society and are clearly getting paid good money for doing it. Question is, how do they have the time to do this? Do they have a completely full clinical schedule just like you? They're working 25 to 40 clinical hours per week, plus their notes, plus their billing, plus their admin, plus their intakes, plus their marketing, plus everything else that they're doing. And then they go home at night and write their book. And then on the weekend, they get on a plane, they go somewhere, teach a workshop, go somewhere else, give a talk, come home Friday night, get 5 hours of sleep, and then start the whole thing again? No, of course not. They have another way of making money that allows them to do this kind of work. But there's another type of leveraged and abundant mental health professional out there, and these are the people that you might not have heard so much about unless you already have a friend who's gotten themselves into this position. Because these are people who have the flexibility to take time off and go places without losing revenue. These are people who are able to work from anywhere they want instead of being tied to an office. These are people who are able to be more present in their own families' lives without the responsibility of working evenings or weekends or missing time when their kids are home from school. How do they get into this position? A lot of you will have your different reasons for viewing this presentation, for taking a look at this video. But what a lot of people are telling me is they're really looking for a way to have a better work-life balance. And these mental health professionals have figured it out. What they're doing is they're supplementing or trading their therapy revenue for a coaching, training, or consulting program. So let's take a look at the steps that you guys need to understand to be able to follow this path for yourselves as well. So the first thing they're doing is they're using a lesser known model that helps you reduce your hours by up to 80% while making more impact in the world. They're offering their services in a way that multiplies their income while giving their clients a better deal than one-to-one therapy. They set themselves up for success before investing a bunch of time into building out their service, and they leverage their credibility and their qualifications to stand out from the crowd. So this presentation is about you, but I'm just going to take a minute here to introduce myself properly so that you know that I'm teaching you this from a place of experience and from having gotten these results many times over. I spent the last 23 years in the online marketing industry. 10 of these years I was a partner in 3 different consulting firms in 3 different countries. The last 10 years specifically, I have been in the coaching industry, and I felt 5 companies go from nothing to between $7 million and $70 million in revenue, and I've advised several of the top coaches in the industry, people whose names you would know, people who have appeared on best-selling authors lists, have gotten my advice as they built up their careers. In fact, in the 5 years before I created this company, The Powerful Practice, I was the chief marketing officer for one of the biggest and most formidable brands in the coaching space. And our job was to help any kind of coach or healer or movement leader or conscious consultant or non-profit leader to get their message of hope and healing out into the world and to get their businesses started so they had a way of making enough revenue to dedicate themselves to getting their message of hope and healing far and wide. And I helped this company go from $200,000 a year to $15 million a year in revenue between 2015 and 2020. And so we had some real results here. We had over 1,100 clients, 76% made 6 figures, 24 female and minority millionaires, and over 180,000 social media followers. And all of their successes were based on the 4 steps that I'm just about to start teaching you right here, right now, today. And so here's what happened for me. I was flying high in the coaching industry. I helped this brand do some amazing things. A lot of people wanted to work with me. I had my pick of jobs. I had my pick of different directions that I could go after the success of helping to build this company. But I was starting to notice something very specific that I had a problem with, which was that a lot of the coaches who were coming into the industry and they were building these big followings, hundreds of thousands of followers, making hundreds of thousands of dollars, even millions of dollars, were coming out of the woodwork, and they were doing something like a 3-month training. And then they would be starting to talk about issues like depression, anxiety, even suicidal thinking. And I'm thinking to myself, I'm not sure this person's done enough of their own work to be able to lead other people on these issues. And at the same time as that, I met the woman who's now my wife. Now, she's a clinical psychologist by training, and I'm helping her to build her little holistic healing practice here in the States. And so on the one side, I'm working with these top coaches, and I'm getting to understand their capabilities and what they stand for and what kind of work they're doing with the clients that they're bringing in. And I'm thinking all these things. And on the other side, I get to understand the capability level of my wife, who's a clinically trained person. And I get to see the depth, and I get to see the expertise, and I get to see the ethics, and I get to see everything that really goes in to what makes a successful or a competent mental health professional. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute. These mental health professionals would be way better at doing coaching and having all the success in coaching than the people who are actually dominating the coaching field right now. And so I started to ask this question: where are the mental health professionals in this industry? Why aren't they looking at this and seeing the opportunity here to make a big difference? And so I started to look at the mental health professionals' practices, and I was absolutely shocked by what I found, because what I found was thousands of highly capable therapists struggling to make 75 grand a year. Well, a bunch of my coaching consulting friends were having $75,000 months. Why is this happening? Well, first thing is, and you can answer me this, you can yell at the monitor. I know this is not live right now, but you can just yell the answer back at me. Answer me this question. Did you receive any kind of sales, marketing, or entrepreneurship instruction as a part of becoming a mental health professional? Did you even receive one class on it? It's a good question, right? And I know the answer is no. right? And so what's happening here is you're not being shown all of the different options and all the different directions that you can take your career once you have the knowledge that's given to you as a mental health professional. You're only really shown one way to do it. Why is that? Well, I actually think that the business world, we're talking about the agencies, the insurance companies, all these now sweatshop therapy apps, they don't want you to become empowered because they've designed this little box for you to work in. And inside of this box that they make you work in, they control all the conditions that you have to work under just to have a job, just to have clients, just to be able to do anything, right? The minute you step outside of that box and empower yourself to go in a different way, you instantly stop making them money. And that is why they will never teach you what I'm going to be teaching you right here in this video right now. Also, answer me this question. You can yell it back at the monitor at me. I'm listening. I will hear you somehow. Don't you think that you should be able to become the leading authority in your niche? And for you to be able to move anywhere you want in the United States and have anyone anywhere else in the United States call you and say, can you help me? And for you to be able to say, yes, I can help you. Why is that so stupidly complicated? Again, it comes down to money, it comes down to state control mechanisms, it comes down to state revenue. That's why it is that way. So realizing all of this, my mission became to teach as many mental health professionals as I could find how to create their own coaching, training, or consulting programs to take you guys from $75,000 years to $75,000 months while changing a bunch of lives for the better. And it's working. This is Dr. David, and it's Carly, and it's Jenny, and it's Becky. They all have their own programs. They're not working together as partners, but they're all in the same niche, which is helping parents transform their relationships with their intense and challenging children. And so David focuses on parents of younger kids, Dr. Jenny focuses on parents of teenagers, Carly focuses on parents of children with anxiety, and Becky's program is called Empowering Christian Moms. And so the daily nature, and I'll get into how these programs are structured in just a minute, but the daily nature of these programs helps parents to get results very, very quickly, and the structure of this program, the way they've put them together, helps the mental health professionals like David and Carly and Jenny and Becky to be able to reduce their clinical hours and work with a lot more people at once. I'm going to get into how they do that in just a minute. Doug and Jessica, they created coaching programs, each of their own program, to help professionals with overdrinking. Shannon helps women who have divorced from a narcissist. Asna helps professionals who are burning out. Darcy helps family caregivers to get the best care for their loved ones. Dr. Greg helps gay men prepare to be properly partnered. What that means is they're escaping the hookup scene and doing the self-work that's necessary in order for them to attract a long-term relationship. And Sandra teaches ambitious teens how to be successful and be happy. So those are examples of the types of coaching programs that my clients are creating. But there's also training programs. So Cecilia, she created a training program that teaches church members how to get spiritual help with more mental health awareness. Laverne's training program helps mental health professionals to become diversity trainers or diversity consultants. Darlene's mentorship program teaches mental health professionals how to grow their income and reduce their clinical hours by doing assessments. And Kate's training program helps social workers to develop a career that's on their terms instead of their industry's terms. So it's really the same structure that I'm going to get into in just a minute and how these programs are put together, but what they're doing is they're teaching a skill instead of helping people solve a personal problem, and that's why we call it a training program. Sheila has a consulting program, and its job is to educate company employees about mental health issues and improve their resilience. Julie's consulting program helps individual schools and school districts to resolve teacher burnout. Erin's consulting program helps hospital workers to develop a creative writing practice to alleviate burnout and emotional fatigue. So why are they called consulting programs when they sound a lot like coaching? Very simply, because the company is paying the bill for these programs. The program is aimed at the employees within a particular organization or company, but the company is the one paying it to resolve an issue like high quit rates or low staff morale. So let's talk about the 4 steps that you guys need to understand to put a program like this together in such a way it can help you to increase your impact and your income, and do it while reducing your clinical hours. Step number 1, the little known model that helps you reduce your hours by up to 80% while making more impact in the world. You see, there's a right way to do coaching or training or consulting and a wrong way. And most of the people who are mental health professionals start doing it, with all due respect, in the way that is not correct. What they do is they add a page on their website that says, I now offer coaching services. A few people even sell a package. Or if they want to do consulting, what they do is they go from company to company to company to company, doing something different for every company they come across. Don't do that, because all that does is get you deeper into the problem that you have right now, which is trading your time for money. You cannot grow from that place. Here is a much better way to do it. You're going to choose, the first thing you're going to do is choose a niche. One particular kind of problem that you are going to become famous for solving for one kind of person or company. Then what you do is, because you're in this niche, you then are able to create a program that is the same for everybody who works with you. Every single client works through this exact same program that you have designed. And then because you're active in one particular niche, selling one particular kind of program, it becomes possible to serve all your clients in a single group. Let's talk about how to do that really, really well, and in a way that also gives your clients an excellent experience. The first thing you're going to need is a pre-recorded training curriculum, so you're not teaching the same stuff to different people again and again and again and again. Answer me this question, shout it back at me, even though it's not live. Do you sometimes feel like you're a bit of a broken record in your practice? You're saying the same things again and again and again and again and again. This is the solution, because what you do is you take those core concepts and you turn them into an online pre-recorded curriculum that everybody who joins your coaching, training, or consulting program starts working through. And you can even give downloads, you can give exercises, you can teach meditations, you can give them so much stuff to do as they're working through your program. But because it's all pre-recorded, you only have to teach it once for the first person you make this program for, and then everybody else is working through that exact same curriculum. Then you add on top of that regular group coaching and Q&A calls. The dynamic on these calls is Q&A. You're answering questions posed by people as they progress through your curriculum, you see? And then everybody else that's on the call is learning from the answers you're giving to everybody else, as well as the answers that you're giving to them. Then you add on top of that an online support community. And this is where you're available every business day. So somebody might upload homework you give them in the curriculum. They might ask a question. They might be celebrating a win. They put it into this online support community and you answer within a business day. Now, for you, this takes less than an hour a day. Very, very rarely will you ever spend more than an hour a day in your community. But for your clients, it's very important because they feel not like they go to therapy once a week, but they feel like they're a part of something. They're doing your program. They're in your program every single minute of every single day from the moment they join until the moment that it ends, you see? So it's a great deal for them, but it's also a great deal for you. Because if you use this kind of a model, this is the vehicle that allows you to go from 24 to 40 clinical hours a week, plus all the other stuff you have to do to run your practice, to a couple of group coaching calls per week and an hour in your support community every single day. You can actually cut the amount of clinical client-facing hours that you are spending by as much as 80%. Amazing, right? So, now I've taught you the model and you're starting to see with the program examples that I gave you how that model might apply and how much time it can save you. Now I have to give you the money talk. You need to offer your service in a way that multiplies your income so you're no longer trading your time for money. You see, all the mental health professionals I was just showing you a little earlier are all charging between $2,500 and $6,000 upfront for their coaching programs. Now, a training program can actually be more than this, and a consulting program can be a lot more than this per month. But just to show you the numbers behind and the power of this financial model, I'm going to show you the numbers behind a coaching program that is $2,500 upfront for the entire program. So let's say you're getting 5 new clients per month and you're charging $2,500 per client. Now, what I'm going to say here is you're not selling a coaching program to people who can't afford it. If somebody's only real option is Medicaid therapy, this is not a program for them. What you're doing is you're creating a coaching program that is sold to the middle class and above and is solving a high value problem that they prioritize having the right help and is like their number one problem in their lives. You see, that's how you can charge $2,500 up front for the entire 3 or 4 month program. But if you're doing that, 5 new clients a month, $2,500 per client, that's $12,500 per month, which is $150,000 per year right there. And that, for most people, is already a pay rise, right? But here's what happens. When my clients reach this level and they have 5 clients per month coming in their program, they're making $150,000 a year, they're really happy, they usually come to me and they say something like, "This is awesome. How do I go to 10 new clients a month? How do I go to 15 new clients a month?" Because by this time, they've realized that doubling or tripling the size of their group does not double or triple their workload, you see? But actually, what I say to them is, you don't have to do any more marketing or really much more work to multiply this number. Let me show you why. So let's say you're getting 5 new clients per month inside of your 12-week program. That's $150,000 per year right there. What's going to happen next? Well, what's going to happen next is you're going to have some percentage of people who, graduating out of your coaching program, are saying, "I'm not done yet. I want to do more. I want to go deeper." They love the results that they're getting. They love working with you. They're having a good experience and they want to lock in these changes. And so this is where I suggest you have your next offer ready. And the way that I propose structuring this offer is it's a year-long advanced mentorship program. It's $6,000, but this time, instead of charging up front, you charge it at $500 per month. Industry standard figures dictate that about 3 of the 5 people graduating your coaching program that month will say yes to this offer. And so your income starts going up like a snowball by $1,500 per month. Every month, you have 5 people graduating out of your coaching program. 3 of them say yes to your ongoing support program. Your income's growing by $1,500 per month like a snowball until your ongoing support program is also full. Once your ongoing support program has also been full for a year, you're going to realize that this has increased your revenue by another $216,000. You add $150,000 to $216,000. Your annual revenue becomes $366,000 per year. Just you, no offices, no employees, no expenses. Absolutely amazing results. But I'm not just telling you to give less and ask for more, because let's look at it from your client's perspective. Your clients are getting this curriculum, which is specifically designed to help them solve their problem. They're getting 2 coaching calls per week where they're coming together as a group. They're learning from you. They're learning from the experiences of everybody else in the program with who are trying to solve the same problem as, and they can get access to you every single business day within a business day in your online support community. Clients are saying this is a better deal than spending the same amount of time in therapy. And what mental health professionals are telling me is I'm getting faster results with this model than I was getting when I was seeing people individually and one-to-one. Absolutely amazing, right? So the third point I have to make here is you have to know how to set yourself up for success before you invest a ton of time into building out your program. And here's what I mean by that. I have a lot of mental health professionals, they want to do this and they're like, well, how do I know this is going to work? Because for me to build this, to do all of this, well, it's some effort here and I want to know that I'm investing my time wisely in this project. So let me teach you the launch model that I use with my clients to help to solve this problem. So the way I'm going to teach it is by again referring to the typical program structure: a pre-recorded training curriculum, regular group coaching calls, and an online community. The online community takes less than an hour to set up. Very, very simple. You can use a private Facebook group. You can use a piece of software that we recommend to people that just sets up very, very quickly, and that's it. It's done. The regular group coaching calls, simple to set up. Give them a time, give them a day, give them a Zoom link, tell them to show up, and that's it. They're going to be there, right? That's your call set up. The long pole in the tent is this pre-recorded training curriculum. And this is where everybody, especially mental health professionals, really starts to overthink, because they start to think, oh my goodness, I need to make weeks 1 to 2 videos, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10, 11 to 12, and it's like they're trying to make a Netflix series. I mean, this is how much people overthink. And what they do is they go into like this production mode where they're trying to build this whole thing before they launch. And if you are somebody who's been looking to do this for a while, perhaps you've even tried to put together an online course and you've gotten lost in this process because you're trying to make a massive amount of content up front before you've ever taken your program out to the market. Don't do this. All that's going to happen is you're going to get stuck, or you're going to have to invest a whole ton of time before you see revenue or results. Here's the way that I have my clients do it. We are going to make a lesson plan, bullet point style, for the content that's going to be taught in your curriculum. So you're going to know roughly what you're teaching in weeks 1 to 2, 3 to 4, 5 to 6, 7 to 8, 9 to 10, okay? And so we've broken it down into 2-week blocks. But what you're going to do is you're only going to record weeks 1 to 2 videos, and then we're going to start marketing your program. After you get your first 1 or 2 clients, and only then will you then start recording your weeks 3 to 4 videos. So your first clients in weeks 1 to 2. You then have 2 weeks and a lesson plan to record weeks 3 to 4 just before they need it. Then when they move into weeks 3 to 4, you move into weeks 5 to 6. You see, in recording weeks 5 to 6. Now, you only have to do this for your first client, because once you've done this curriculum, it's done. Right? But why do I suggest doing it this way? Well, first of all, it's nice to get paid. Once you've received a little money, it becomes much easier to find the time to make all these videos, you see? But they've actually achieved something much more important to me. They have proven their program is sellable. Because if we just do a little bit of marketing and we already close 1 client or 2 clients into your program, we know that all we need to do is continue to develop your marketing, and many, many, many more clients are going to come for years and years and years and years and years. You see? So we know that you're investing your time wisely in building out this curriculum, and you're building something that has a very high chance of success. And then once it's done for the first person, it's done for everybody. You don't have to touch it again unless there's something you want to improve. This way, you don't need to spend weeks or months building your program until you've already proven that it sells and you've already been paid for your work, you see? It's a much better way to go about it than trying to develop the whole thing up front, right? I hope your mind is blown by this. I know that it's slightly counterintuitive, but trust me, you have a much, much higher chance of success if you follow this model than trying to do the whole thing before your program even sees the light of day. So last point that I need to make here to you, because I get this question all the time. I get mental health professionals coming to me saying, I want to take advantage of this coaching opportunity. What certification do I need for that? And I have a very emphatic answer for you. If you are already a trained and qualified and experienced mental health professional, you do not need yet another certification just to offer a coaching program. In fact, if you were to enroll in one of these very expensive certification programs, this in the middle, this old lady is going to be you, and you're going to be in this class with a whole bunch of people who have never worked a clinical hour. You guys do not need to be in yet another certification program, especially one where you're surrounded by a bunch of people with no clinical expertise. You do not need to be investing money into something that will slow you down instead of speed you up. You're probably more experienced and qualified than the person teaching the coaching certification. You may be told to do something illegal for you to do by a coach who doesn't understand the ethical and licensing constraints that we need to take into account when we produce your program. And to be honest with you, with just a few notable exceptions, most of the coach training certifications out there are quite simply just CBT done badly. You guys do not need to be investing in this. Your credentials are all you need, and they give you more credibility than any of the other coaches who are out there. In fact, anything but these 3 steps, choosing the right niche for you, creating an offer for a coaching, training, or consulting program that makes sense to the people in this niche, and marketing your program is a waste of time. And usually what I find is when a mental health professional goes certification shopping in order to become a coach, usually it's because there's some kind of fear or imposter syndrome going on where you're inventing stuff that you need to do rather than just producing your program and putting yourself out there. And it can be a fear of things not going well. It can be a fear of serving on a higher level. It can be a fear of being seen in some way you've never been seen before. And I've news for you. No coaching certification is going to solve that fear, because the cure for fear is not safety. The cure for fear is bravery. And so what you have to do is feel that fear, decide that you're going to do this anyway because you're worth it, and so are the people who you're on this planet to help, and then go forwards feeling that fear but not letting it control you. And when you do that, the fear will dissipate and you will be ready to serve on a greater and greater scale. I'm sure you've heard this before. I'm sure you've told your clients this before, but sometimes we need this reminder for ourselves as well. You do not need to be putting imaginary tasks or inventing things that you have to do before just putting your program out there. What we have to do is devise a program that makes sense and start marketing it, and that's the action that's going to make you successful. So here's what we covered. Number 1, the lesser known model that helps you reduce your hours by up to 80% while making more impact in the world. Number 2, offer your services in a way that multiplies your income while giving your clients a better deal than one-to-one therapy. Number 3, guarantee your success before investing a bunch of time into building out your service. And number 4, leverage your credibility and your qualifications to stand out from the crowd. Now what I ask you is your permission to make an offer to you. An offer to help you to put your program together, get it out into the market so you can have the kinds of results that my clients have been having with their program. And here's how I usually do it. I offer 6 months of direct mentorship from me in the form of twice weekly small group mentorship calls, 2 video training curriculums designed specifically for mental health professionals to help you create your own coaching, training, or consulting program. I give you support every single day from me inside of a private online support community, and I give you one-to-one coaching calls at pivotal points in your program's development. So this is what I usually offer people when they come to me and ask me for help, and this is what gets their program launched. But here's what I know, and there's a reason I do a long video when I actually offer these services to the market. I'm looking for the people who are really interested and really are going to be the action takers. And so I'm going to assume that if you've gotten to this point in the video and you're still watching, you're somebody who's interested in getting this done. You have a why. You have a reason why you want to get this done. There's going to be some kind of way of serving on a greater scale or some kind of way of improving your own working conditions so you can be there for the people who need you. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to sweeten the deal just for the people who are applying as a result of being on this page and who we decide to move forwards with to help you to incubate and to build your program. First thing I want to give you is lifetime access to my program curriculum, including all updates I make to it as the market evolves. What does that mean? That means that what we'll do is we'll work together for the next 6 months to get your program built, launched, and delivered. And then what might happen is in the future, 6 years, 10 years from now, you're happily running your business, you're doing really well, but something in the market changes. Maybe Elon Musk buys Facebook, something like that, starts changing it. You're always going to be able to log back in and have the absolute latest information from me on how to run your business, even if we haven't spoken in years. You see, you're still going to have it, including all the future updates. Also, I know there's a lot of people here who don't like tech. And guess what? You're not supposed to know how to, or to know how to do tech or to like it. You're supposed to be good at helping people. So there is one techie thing that has to happen in the creating of your program, and that is the training center. It's the place that hosts your video curriculum for your clients, takes payment via credit card, offer payments plans via PayPal credit, and powers all of your marketing via a bunch of different templates that we have created and designed for you. So we're going to create all of that for you and give it to you so you don't have to build it yourself. Also, we'll produce your first month of social media content for you, if social media is an appropriate part of your marketing strategy. And this is what we did for my client, Dr. Jenny. We helped her with 25 social media videos, just in the same way we're going to help you. And she started putting them on the different platforms. And before she knew it, she had 88,000 followers on Facebook, over 50,000 followers on Instagram, over 20,000 followers on TikTok. And she's getting messages coming from all over the world from people asking about our program and asking for her help. We're going to do that same thing for you too, right before you launch your program. It's going to take less than 3 hours of your time to have all of that content made. So let's talk about the curriculum here, because what I've designed is actually 2 training curriculums. You're going to have lifetime access to both. One of them is for a coaching or training program. The other one's for a consulting program, and it's designed to take you from having some idea or no idea what kind of program you want to create to having a finished program in the market with clients. We start at the beginning. So you might have a very strong idea of what niche you want to be in, or you might have no idea what kind of niche you want to be in. We're going to go through a professional marketing exercise to create or validate some ideas for programs, but we're going to do it in a specific way. Because it's not just about pulling an idea out of the air and saying, I think I'll do that one. No. We're going to professionally design a program which is something that is not just something you want to offer, but is actually created in such a way that it's likely to be commercially successful in the market. We're going to satisfy both of these conditions before we move forwards and start creating your program. Once we've locked down your offer, then we're going to go through the process of building and launching your program so you are set up for success. I'm going to give you training on how to take someone who doesn't know you at all and bring them to the point of paying you thousands of dollars quickly. I'm going to give you a choice of different marketing strategies to attract the exact people you want to work with, including giving you templates. If you want to be a published author, what you might not realize is that when you create your online curriculum, you've also done about 85–90% of the work that it takes to write a book. So I'm going to show you, rather than having to write the book, how to take the video curriculum you've already made and use a system called ChatGPT to have it turn your video curriculum into chapters of a book without you doing any writing, and have this professionally done for you in your voice, teaching what you teach in a very cohesive way, so you can turn around and publish this as a book and use it to promote yourself and your program and to get your message out into the world. Also, as I said, before you launch your program, we'll build your training center for you. This will be the place that hosts your curriculum, allows you to take payments or offer payment plans, and it will be the power behind your marketing strategies using a bunch of templates that we've designed for you. If it makes sense for your market, we'll even deploy your program inside of a mobile app, which is completely your brand. Sometimes that's appropriate for people who are targeting younger audiences or people who are running consulting programs. If we decide that's the right thing for you, we'll help you to do that. And as I said, we'll also produce your first 25 social media videos for you in less than 3 hours of your time. And that is just the curriculum and the support services. Also very important, of course, is the coaching. You need me to be available to you every time you take a step in building your program, and that is what I am going to do. I'm going to be available to you over the next 6 months, every business day. Anytime you take a step in building your program, in planning your program, in coming up with the idea, in following the steps that I'm giving you in the curriculum, in going through the support services we're giving you, I need to see exactly what you're doing. And so you're going to post your work for me, and I'm going to take a detailed look at it, and I'm going to give you all the feedback you need to make sure you're absolutely on track with building your program, and you're building the best possible program in the best possible way, so you're going to make a positive difference in the world and be highly successful. And I'm going to be there for you twice a week inside of my small group mentorship calls. We are going to go deep together. You're going to be learning from a whole bunch of other mental health professionals just like you who are ahead of you in the process and also building your program. And there's never going to be a day that goes by as you're doing this project that you cannot get my help because of the way that I have put this together. Now, if you can see a link to schedule a call beneath this video, that means the doors to my program are currently open. And in the coming week or so, I'm going to be accepting my next 3 mental health professionals into my mentorship program. Together, we're going to build your coaching, training, or consulting program. And over the next 6 months, we will conceive, build, and launch your coaching, training, or consulting program so you can get the same results as my clients. If you would like to apply to the program, use the link below to schedule a time for us to talk. We're going to go deep and to see if this is the right career decision for you and the right timing for you. And if it is, we're going to go forwards and we're going to help you to get this program built into the market and successful over the next few weeks and months. So this year that you're in right now can be the transformational year that really lights a fire under your career. And if this is you, I look forward to meeting with you. I look forward to having a little planning session with you. Use the scheduler to book a time right underneath this video, and I can't wait to meet you. Thank you.